What's up, YouTubers? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're going to be looking at 5, maybe 6 stocks that I'm currently liking, and some of these stocks that I'll be mentioning I've already had a position in. Again, this is just my opinions on the market. I do more of the technical side of things. I do add some fundamental aspects into my equation and my buying. I normally hold for 6 to 18 months, majority of these stocks. Alright, so we're looking at SPY today. This has hit all-time highs. It's on Wednesday. Again, this is Friday morning, Black Friday. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone. Alright, so let's go ahead and just jump into it. So one of the favorite stocks, which I currently do not have a position in, is Costco. So that's COST at the very top here. Costco wholesale warehouse is basically a huge wholesale warehouse where you can buy anything from 16 rolls of toilet paper to 15 pounds of rice. They have pizza, they have all kinds of meats, they have a full-on butcher, they have a full-on bakery, they have everything you need in bulk items. So if you need 3 pounds of ketchup, they got you. Things like that. It's really great for a lot of people. They make this really cool aspect within their stores of making it like a treasure hunt where they kind of move things around week to week. So you're kind of going in and around the aisles looking for deals. And they have inventory changing constantly. So it's something that's constantly changing. They have their staples. They have their Kirkland brand from milk to meats and things like that. It's always going to be there, but they have a lot of name brand stuff will be dropping in and things like that. So this, looking at the stock technically, it's not near all-time high of this year is 307. I think it's all-time high in quite some time. Yeah. So this is a weekly chart. It's been a really great performer. You can kind of see here what we like to use here is the yellow line here, which is the 21 moving average, and it's been going straight up since the bottom of last December. It's been a fantastic performer. It was a tough call to buy down here, but I didn't pull the trigger. Thought it would come down more to the 200, but that being said, looking at the stock, it would be a hard time to buy this. Earnings are coming up on 12/12, which is confirmed, and looking to it to move higher. Honestly, like, it's gonna have good outlook onto Christmas and things like that and the holiday season. So I would be buying, if you're looking to buy some stock, I would be looking to probably add a quarter or even half position, and then see how earnings turns out. And if it runs up a lot, I wouldn't add anything else, and maybe if it comes back just a little bit more, just depending on what they say on their earnings call. Alright, so that's their Costco. We're going to be going now to the Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. I like Facebook. Facebook stock, that is. I don't actually use the Facebook profile. Facebook, I think everyone knows it's been in the news. Again, Facebook is the owner of Instagram, WhatsApp, and they basically know your interests, your likes, and your wants, and they're probably the premier data company that I know of so far that knows consumers. That being said, this is actually a position that we actually added. We actually added it right here, right about on this day. It was a fantastic little move because it was holding the 21. It closed right above it. I said, I want some of that, and it's been a nice little ride up. So this has been a nice little addition to the portfolio. Going to be looking at some resistance at the 208 level and potentially higher. Again, this thing could be hit by anything from Congress calling Mr. Zuckerberg back in for questioning to all the different various filtering and the ads that could be running for the 2020 election. It's like, this could be a wild card, but technically speaking, I still like it. I like to see it run up to the 208, 210 level. I feel it's going to be a high potential. They already had earnings. So nothing really on the forefront on looking out on that. So let's go ahead and look at a little longer dated chart. Kind of see here, this kind of had some ebb and flows. Again, the 204, 208 level is going to hit some levels in here, but 218 is the all-time high. And then that's when the whole scandal broke out of people finding out on the ads and how it kind of didn't filter things out, and that kind of has been down there. It's kind of consolidated here again with the low of last year, and kind of been climbing higher and making hopefully new all-time highs. So that's another stock that we did buy. And then another one which has literally gone to the races is our lovely friend Mr. Tim Cook and the Apple Co. They have been truly to the moon, where ever since, even people having huge issues despite not selling as many iPhones, and with the China trade, like, it's literally Apple makes their devices constantly in China. Apple has moved some of this production in Austin, Texas, looking at making, I think it was the Mac Pro, and they invited President Trump out and things like that. That little press conference, a little woo-ha. But that being said, looking for higher prices here, this is literally its all-time high, and I think the number one performing for margins and growth is the AirPods, the little Bluetooth integrated earpieces that you see people running around with. You think that they're talking to you, but they're actually talking to someone on the phone, and then they look at you funny, and then they judge you. Anyways, that being said, this is a fantastic stock. Like, everyone loves Apple. They honestly make great laptops, great computers, great phones. Can't really get behind the AirPods per se. More of a wired guy, like a loser. Anyways, but this is run quite a bit here. You can kind of see here, if you want to trade it momentumly, and each time it hits the 21 here, it's just been bouncing here. Like, but that's you're gonna see this a lot with a lot of stocks that have moved the last 3 or 4 months. They've just been trading at the 21 and just constantly going higher and higher and higher. So I wouldn't be buying into this, but this is something on my radar. This could potentially go significantly higher, again, due to the high demand of the AirPods and a lot of people loving the Apple Watch. Like, Apple Watch is a pretty hot item. Like, I see so many individuals with Apple Watches now. But that being said, I'm not going to be adding to that soon. I like to buy this on discount because I would like to hold this long term. But these prices up here are a little too rich for my taste. Next is our friends at Disney. We're looking at Disney stock. This is actually, this is one of our core positions here at the portfolio. This has been a pretty key portfolio playing on the Disney Plus streaming service, and them entering the market of just, I won't say dominating, but taking significant share and looking at some competition between Netflix and them. And again, everyone's making their own thing. There's NBC's making their own. Paramount has their own streaming service coming. It's absolutely insane on these streaming services. But that being said, we do own Roku as well for the portfolio, so we're kind of playing the middleman on that. That's actually another great stock to look at. We can look at that in a little bit, or I actually might want to do a video all on its own on that. I've done that in the past. Roku is just going to be a great middle person on, no matter who wins the streaming wars, they're going to need some kind of thing like a Fire Stick or a Roku stick or box to stream this stuff. So great way to play that. But that being said, Disney Plus has been a huge success. If you haven't checked out the Star Wars series Mandalorian, fantastic. I absolutely adore that series. If you're a huge Star Wars fan, lovely, lovely, lovely. And if you have a kid, Disney Plus is fantastic for your kid. The content is curated for kids. And then they have some adult stuff with Star Wars stuff and Marvel. But that being said, this is off to the races and go substantially higher because they only have 15 or 12 or 15 million, if last I read, subscribers. That's only in like basically the U.S. and the Netherlands. But once they open up to other markets, I think that number is going to rise because there's just so many Disney fans throughout this world. Again, we're sitting at all-time highs. Let's look at a weekly chart here. And yeah, like we're hitting the top layer of breaking out of the ozone layer because we're at no man's unknown territory because we're at all-time highs. So that being said, it's be difficult to buy. Again, huge run up since the last earnings report here earlier this month. And then they haven't announced their next quarter, but it's going to be looking like it's going to be in February sometime. So we'll see how the holiday season does. I think they're going to be doing quite well. And now we're going to be looking actually at a section in the market that I know fairly well, which is video games. So EA, I know EA could be. It's been one of the most hated companies, I believe, or something like that. Like most evil company was voted a lot that you could ever own or work for. That's been rated by the consumer. Anyways, that being said, on the stock, it's been bouncing in and around like the 104 to like the 88 level. It's kind of bouncing around. You kind of see I have these the blue line up here and the red line down here, kind of forming a wedge. It's kind of broken out the top line, looking for this to consolidate and looking to add to more positions. They just released a couple new great games. They're updating the Battlefield series. I have a feeling they're going to be announcing some great titles coming 2020 and looking outwards of having the Star Wars franchise in their pocket is going to be fantastic for them. So that being said as well, another stock that we actually still own is Activision Blizzard, which again, these are the makers of Overwatch, Diablo, the new Call of Duty game. They have the Call of Duty Mobile, which is doing gangbusters. It is raking in so much money. We actually did lighten up the position. We had a substantial amount around like the 47 area. Sold a little bit around 53-ish, just to kind of lighten up. It was a core position. Now it's a very small position. In the portfolio, we sold a little bit, I believe, on this day. When this crossed here, probably on this day actually, it's around 54. So it's basically a very small position in the thing, but it held the 200, which we liked, and we actually added in just a tad once it bounced, because you can kind of hear my notes here of get out if it closes below here, which it actually didn't. It did cross, but it closed always above it. So that was a sign of strength, kind of showing of a little bit of resistance. Again, the 200 moving average is known as the value people, the value trap, the value investors, and something like that. So having this strong position here is a very strong line in the sand where it's hard to break through sometimes. Anyways, yep, that was my list that I'm currently looking at for the end of this month and my Black Friday deals and sales. Some of these are definitely a buy now, like Activision Blizzard. It's honestly not too late to buy some of that. I might be adding to that position to see how it opens up today. Again, everyone, thank you so much for watching.